Okay, so in the previous videos, we have gone through the sine rule, the area of a triangle, which is half AB sine C, and of course, Pythagoras theorem and Tuakaso have been gone through um, last year and last 2 years. So we still have one last trigonometric rule for Emax to go through, which is basically cosine rule itself. Alright, so today, or rather in this video, we'll be talking about cosine rule and what exactly is cosine rule. Okay, so before we talk about cosine rule itself, we'll talk about the aim of cosine rule. So the aim of cosine rule is actually exactly the same as the sine rule, which is to either find unknown lengths or unknown angles in a triangle. So find unknown lengths or unknown angles in a triangle. All right. So as you can see in the previous videos, okay, we can actually use sine rule to find unknown lengths or unknown angles depending on what is given by the question. So we will usually use sine rule if we are given two angles and one side, or if we are given two sides and a non-included angle. All right. So if let's say we can't use sine rule, then that's where we will resort to cosine rule, and we will specifically state or we will specifically go through what are the different cases where we can use the cosine rule itself. Okay, so um, of course at the start it will be quite hard because it will be very hard for you to identify whether or not you must use sine rule or cosine rule. But as time goes by, okay, you will be able to immediately see, okay, I should use sine rule for this case or I should use cosine rule. Okay, and we will go through a summary at the end of everything. Okay, so let's talk about what's cosine rule first. So again, we will have the triangle with the naming convention, your ABC, with the angle opposite the side A, and then B and C. Okay, so what the cosine rule states is the fact that, okay, if I want to use this A, if I want to find this length itself, okay, so if I want to find this length itself, okay, you realize I have not even talked about the angle B and C, okay, because it's not really relevant. But okay, just take note that the angle must be opposite the length that I want to find. So A square, okay, is equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. Okay, and you realize that, hey, the first three terms itself, a square equals to b square plus c square, looks exactly like Pythagoras theorem. That's because Pythagoras theorem is actually a special case of cosine rule. Okay, so if it's 90 degrees, you'll use Pythagoras theorem. If not, then you can use a cosine rule itself. So again, I repeat, cosine rule is simply if I want to find this a square, it's this length itself. So this length squared is equals to b square plus c square minus 2bc cosine a. Also take note that you realize that your angle A is the included angle between B and C. So not only is it opposite the length that's on the left hand side, but it's also the included angle in between B and C. So between B and C. Okay. So in today's lesson we will talk about number one, the proof, of course. How do you prove? Okay, we will include the proof in another video itself, and then we'll go through the different cases where we can apply the cosine rule to solve for unknown lengths and unknown angles in a triangle itself. All right, so see you in the next video.